Hello, my name is Blair. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Sensory Awareness series. And welcome back to the Sensory Timeline miniseries. This ends today, I promise. Today is day 6, which means that we are concluding the sensory timeline with a little look at SPD in adults. Now, obviously, adult is quite a wide age range, and I don't know what it's like to be older than 23, so there are going to be some gaps in my knowledge. If you're older than me and you have SPD, then feel free to add your story in the comments. Developmentally, there's not a whole lot going on here. The brain has pretty much finished growing and kind of done everything it's going to do for now. So the goal becomes to maintain your equilibrium. Keep a job, keep a family, keep a hobby, and build your life on the foundation that you created. However, SPD is not something that goes away if you ignore it long enough. The word that comes to my mind when I think of an adult with SPD is still. Still a picky eater, still has meltdowns, still hasn't gotten their driver's license, still can't get their life together. The inability to do seemingly normal adult things contributes to a profound feeling that you don't match the rest of the world. They may feel stuck in their bodies, unable to explain why they do what they do, never quite feeling like they belong anywhere. Additionally, any other disorders that they might have, like anxiety, depression, or OCD, are probably making things even harder. If you have symptoms and behaviors that seem like they have no other cause, there might have been an underlying sensory insecurity or sensory integration issue the whole time. Adults with SPD will likely have trouble maintaining close relationships. A lot of people don't know that auditory processing doesn't only include understanding the words and sentences that someone's saying, but also their tone and intention, and this can be affected by SPD as well. In this way, auditory processing issues can make miscommunications frequent between the SPDer and their friends or partners. Tactile defensiveness can make intimacy difficult or even impossible. Something as seemingly simple as going out for drinks after work can be inaccessible to the SPDer, and this makes them seem standoffish or avoidant. They might flounder in the working world too, maybe going from job to job trying to find an environment that fits their needs. They might have to work short shifts or take frequent breaks in order to recharge enough to get through the day. I started working at a school last August, and the sensory environment there is pretty intense. It took me about 6 or 7 months to get used to it, and then everything got thrown out of whack all over again. Everything about my job took me longer to acclimate to than it would for a neurotypical person. Luckily, I work in special ed, so my coworkers understand that kind of thing. Unfortunately, a lot of adult SPDers probably don't have that level of support in their workplace. If the adult SPDer is still living life under the defective normal mindset, which it's very likely that they are, they probably won't ask for help or self-advocate because they're still expecting themselves to be able to overcome a literal neurological disorder with their own sheer willpower. And this goes back to masking. Masking is an inherently repressive act. It necessitates being in hypervigilance. There's no way to mask and not be anxious about it. Carrying your difficulties alone like that is not a healthy or sustainable way to live your life. Having your brain marinating in stress chemicals all or even most or even some of the time is extremely, extremely damaging, both psychologically and physically, to your actual brain and its structure. Over time, people with SPD can develop trauma responses even though they might not be able to point to a single instance of trauma in their lifetime. It's like a cumulative trauma. I'm only 23, and I wish that I had found out that I have SPD way sooner than I did. I can't imagine having no idea that you have a disorder like this at 30 or 40 or 50 or even older. Unfortunately, the resources for adults with SPD are pretty scarce. I'm obviously still going through this journey, and I will be for the rest of my life, but the biggest thing that helped me when I found out I had SPD was educating myself. Reading books and articles about SPD, connecting with other people who have it, and contributing to the online conversations about SPD, kind of like I'm doing right now, have been really helpful in teaching my brain to understand that I shouldn't be expected to deal with things the way everybody else does because my brain isn't like everybody else's. Reconnecting with your sensory self is crucial. It's only within the past year, really, that I have started to finally embrace my stimming and my sensory behaviors. Working with a sensory aware therapist can really help. That's what I did, but I know that therapy isn't always accessible to everyone, so I've linked to some free resources in the description. If you are an adult with SPD, here's what I want you to know. Number 1, you are not a defective normal. You are a neurodiverse person. Your brain is different, and that's okay. If you had people or still have people in your life that either don't know or don't care what you go through on a daily basis just to function, then I'm sorry. That shouldn't have happened to you. It shouldn't be happening to you. Number 2, it's okay to grieve the years that you lost when you didn't know that your brain was different, when you were trying as hard as you could to be normal, but nothing seemed to work. It's okay to feel sad about all the moments that you were supposed to enjoy, but couldn't because your brain was too overwhelmed trying to keep up with, the way your clothes feel. I mean, who wants to pay attention to that during your child's birthday party? It's okay to feel sad about bridges you might have burned, bad decisions you made during a meltdown or sensory burnout, all the people that you wanted to fit in with but never could. Bringing those feelings back to the surface so that they can air out is good and necessary, although it can be painful. If working with a therapist isn't accessible for you, then try to journal it or talk it out alone in your car or talk it out with a trusted friend. Number 3, even if you've been very successful at masking over the years, SPD as an adult is frustrating, it's isolating, and it just plain sucks sometimes. Or most of the time. No matter how old you get, loneliness hurts. But the good news is, you don't have to feel alone anymore. So now we are at the end of day 6, which means we have now concluded the Sensory Timeline miniseries. I hope these videos have given you a little bit of perspective on what it's like to live with SPD throughout all the different stages of your life, not just childhood, and a little bit more about the ripple effect that's caused by having SPD. Make sure to do something sensational today, and I will hopefully see you back tomorrow. Bye.